Hey guys, what's up? My name's Shaney. Welcome back to my channel, a place where you can find all things self-development, minimalism and lifestyle. This week I'm going to be discussing 5 things that you should be doing the night before to fuel a very productive tomorrow. I personally am a sucker for routines. I love my routines. They make me feel in control of my shit. They make me feel organized, and genuinely I just like knowing what's going on. I don't have to think about stuff too much. My brain just does it on auto. Having routines also means that I'm a lot able to handle curveballs better because I usually get things done in a certain order on repeat every single day. I personally am a massive fan of the evening. This is my downtime. This is my me time. I am a morning person, so I tend to be all things go and effective first thing in the morning, and my afternoon is definitely an unwind and relaxing time for me. Secondly, it's important to have a night routine if you are looking to get effective sleep. I have done a video on how to maximize your sleep efficiently, so how to get more sleep in the same or less hours and how to feel more rested in the morning. If you are interested in those tips, then please do give that video a watch. I will leave the link in the description box below for you. So the first thing I recommend doing for your night routine is to reflect. Reflect on the day. How did the day go? How are you feeling? Journal, check in with yourself. Whatever it is that is reflection for you, it's important for you to do that. We don't often take time to check in with ourselves and see how we're feeling, what thoughts have been trying to break through the surface every single day that haven't been able to because we've been too focused on work, or we've been too distracted by Instagram or the TV. Our brain's often absorbing stuff 24/7 these days, so having a reflection period allows a time for your brain to stop absorbing and actually just release what it's been trying to get out. Also, if you have been trying not to face things, reflection's a good way to work through any issues that you may be having, or just processing some emotions that you're feeling that you maybe don't understand yet. It's really important for your mental well-being and also for your emotional stability as well. The second thing I recommend doing is to meditate and to stretch. So I know they're kind of a combined thing, but sometimes people find stretching a meditative practice. So meditation doesn't have to be just sitting there with your legs crossed chanting Om. Meditation for some people can be a walk, it can be a bath, whatever it is that helps you get in that sort of transcendental state, and in order for you to really come to your center and still yourself. Again, this just builds on the point of checking in with yourself and seeing how you're doing, how your brain's functioning. It's also just a moment of stillness and peace, a moment to just clear the thoughts away and just to have silence. It's so hard in this day and age to have radio silence, and I think it's a really good practice to have. Silence helps you notice things that have been trying to get your attention that you've not been noticing because there's been too much noise around them. So I find it really, really important, especially when it comes to yourself and how you're doing, to have that silence to see if your body or something about you's been screaming out to you and you've not been acknowledging it or even noticing it. Stretching also is a wonderful thing to do before bed. By stretching, you help release tension that you built up over the day. Now again, this might not be tension that you even recognize you have, but when I stretch before bed, I actually notice that I sleep so much deeper and it's such a more restful sleep, and I think it is because I'm releasing that tension. I'm stretching my body and allowing it to become more flexible. I like to incorporate flexibility in my physical body because I feel like it helps me incorporate flexibility in my energetic and my mental life. So people who are rigid, if you're like a tree for example and you don't budge, when a force comes at you that's really strong, you're going to break if you don't bend. Whereas if you are flexible and you can allow that force to bend you and you can mold around it, you're going to be so much better at handling those strong forces that hit you in real life that sometimes really push you back, and it's just going to be so much better for you in terms of progressing and ease of difficult situations. So for me, stretching physically also aids that just everyday flexibility to deal with problems and issues and curveballs that come up in your life. Not to mention, it's also just really fantastic for your body. You're less likely to get injured, you stay more supple, and it helps keep your body young. I personally like to do a to-do list, so I like to note down the actions that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, writing down a game plan for the next day, make sure that A, you are more actually inclined to achieve those to-do list items, and B, you can't forget. When you think of something, jot it down and remember to do it. There's so much going on in our life, it's impossible these days, I feel, to actually remember stuff well. So if you write it down, you don't have an excuse to forget something and you're more likely to actually action that thing. If you see it written down and then you can tick it off, it also makes you feel good to be like, yes, I just did that. You can write your to-do notes based on your reflection notes. So if you wrote something down during the day and said, I forgot to do this today, then you just know you need to add it on to tomorrow's to-do list. This also helps keep on track of your goals and make sure that you do have a productive tomorrow by getting all the important things done first. That way you're also able to handle curveballs more. So if something unexpected comes up, you know, okay, I can handle this and I can do X, Y, and Z at this point of the day. Whereas if you don't have a plan and a curveball comes up, it has a very good chance of taking over that whole day and you forgetting about the important things that you actually needed to do. Tip number 4 is to pack your bag. Now, I know that sounds like a really school thing to do, but I feel like this is a lesson that I learned at school and it's never failed me. If you prepare your bag or your belongings the night before the next day, that was wordy, you're going to be less stressed in the morning. You know that you've got everything prepared already. All you need to do is get up, get dressed, have breakfast, clean yourself, whatever it is that your morning routine is, and get out the door. You don't have to faff around trying to find things last minute or panicking if you can't find those things in the morning because you've already sorted it the night before. It just gives you more time to sort any issues that may come up or to find things that you maybe cannot find. As I say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Tip number 5 is to meal prep. So if you're not someone who does your meal prep on a Sunday for the next couple of days, then at least try and meal prep the day before. I often find if you're cooking your dinner, this is a good time to meal prep because you're already cooking. A really easy tip is to just make enough dinner that it carries over to lunch tomorrow. This way you don't have to worry about making lunch the next morning, everything's prepared for you, you can just have a productive day, you can meet your fitness goals because you've already prepped your food, you're not going to be tempted by any bad stuff in the store if you have to buy lunch, you're going to save yourself money, and it just means that you have one less decision to make, which frees up your brain to make better decisions and be more creative for other things. I know I said 5 tips, but I definitely meant 6, and my 6th tip is to sort tomorrow's clothes out. Again, this sounds really schoolish, but if you sort out the clothes that you're going to wear tomorrow, you're not wasting one of your good decisions in the morning on what to wear. By making that decision at the end of another day, you've pretty much made all your important decisions for that day, so it doesn't really matter deciding what to wear at the end of the night. You do, however, then have a fresh slate the next morning to just get up, be auto for a certain amount of time, and then when your brain is required to engage, you've got 100% engagement to give that. Whereas if you've already had to wake up and pick your clothes, you've already reduced the amount of energy you've got for other engagement activities. Then to decide your lunch, that's another decision you've had to make, so your mental capacity to think about something may be lessened. Everything about your night routine should be about preparing you and reducing the stress for the next day. It should be making sure that when you wake up, all you have to do is get up and you can get going ASAP. It's about maximizing your time and making sure that the energy that you're putting into stuff is giving you a maximum output. So that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed that. Please do give some of those tips a try, even if it's just one, and see how it improves your productivity the next day. If you have some tips that you would like to share that you find helps you be more effective and productive the next day, then please do leave a comment in the comment section below so that one of our other babes that watches this channel can also learn from you. If you would like to see more related content and you did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up and a subscribe. I post new videos every single Sunday. You can also find me on Instagram at cheneyparsons if you'd like to have a look at that. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all very much, and I will see you next week for another video.